Victoria Sterling watched the single dad at the next table count change. I'm sorry, sweetheart. We can't get dessert tonight. His daughter's face fell. It's okay, Daddy. Victoria's son whispered, Mom, that's sad. Victoria looked at the man, his worn clothes, his daughter's patched shoes, the way he was trying so hard. She made a decision. Walked to their table, put down her credit card. Dessert's on me, and dinner, and anything else you need. The man stared. I can't accept. You can, and you will. What happened next shocked everyone, including Victoria herself. Victoria Sterling, 41 years old, self-made billionaire, CEO of Sterling Enterprises, had everything money could buy. It creates dependency. I'm a mechanic, lost my job 6 months ago, been doing odd jobs, barely making rent. And Emma's mother? She left when Emma was 2. Haven't heard from her since. I'm sorry. It's okay. Emma and I are a team. We manage. But barely. But together. Victoria respected that. I have an idea. Oh, no. Hear me out. I run a tech company, but we have a large fleet, company cars, trucks. They need maintenance. I've been outsourcing to a garage, but they're expensive and unreliable. Marcus would frown, confused by his mother's hardness. You want to hire me? I want to hire someone competent. Are you competent? I'm excellent. Best mechanic you'll ever meet. Then show up Monday. I'll have HR set you up. Fair wages, benefits, healthcare. James stared. You're offering me a job? Just like that? Just like that. Why? Because I can. Because you need it. And because Emma deserves a father who isn't constantly stressed about money. I can't accept this. You can, and you will, for Emma. Tonight, Victoria had taken him to dinner at an upscale restaurant. A rare evening together. James looked at his daughter, laughing with Marcus. Happy, really happy. Okay, thank you. I'll prove I'm worth it. I'm sure you will. They exchanged numbers. Victoria gave James the address of her company. As they left the restaurant, Marcus said, That was cool, Mom. What was? Helping them. You should do it more. Maybe I should. Victoria looked back. James and Emma were leaving too. Emma waved. Something shifted in Victoria that night. Marcus ordered the expensive steak. Victoria didn't even blink. Money was no object. She'd been so focused on building wealth that she'd forgotten what wealth was for. Not hoarding, helping. Maybe it was time to remember. Halfway through dinner, a man and his daughter sat at the next table. Victoria noticed them immediately, impossible not to. The man was maybe 35, exhausted, wearing clothes that had seen better days, but clean, dignified. His daughter was around 8, bright eyes, patched shoes, hair in a careful braid. They studied the menu with the intensity of people calculating every dollar. Can I get the chicken fingers, Daddy? Accept humility. Of course, and sweetheart. And a lemonade? Sure. And ice cream? The man hesitated. Victoria saw him do the math in his head. Let's see how we feel after dinner, okay? The girl nodded. Understanding. Too understanding for an 8-year-old. Victoria went back to her meal. Not her problem. But Marcus was watching them too. Mom, they're counting their money. That's their business. She'd clawed her way from poverty to wealth, built a tech empire from nothing, became one of the richest women in America. But they look worried. Marcus, eat your dinner. The man and his daughter's food arrived. Modest portions. Water instead of soda for the dad. The girl ate carefully, savoring every bite, like it was special. Because it probably was. After their meal, the waitress asked about dessert. Can I have ice cream? The girl asked hopefully. The man pulled out his wallet, counted bills, coins. His face fell. I'm sorry, sweetheart. We can't get dessert tonight. I miscalculated. It's okay, Daddy. The girl forced a smile. I'm full anyway. And she'd become cold, ruthless, forgot where she came from. But Victoria saw her look at the dessert menu longingly. Marcus tugged Victoria's sleeve. Mom, that's sad. Life is sad sometimes. But we could help. Marcus, no. But something stirred in Victoria. A memory, distant but sharp. She'd been that girl once, 30 years ago, with her single mother, counting change, skipping dessert. She'd hated it. The poverty, the calculating, the pretending to be full when you were hungry. She'd vowed to never be poor again, and she'd succeeded. But somewhere in the process, she'd forgotten what it felt like to struggle. Her 12-year-old son, Marcus, was the only soft spot in her armor. The man asked for the check, started counting out exact change. Careful, precise. Victoria made a decision. She stood up, walked to their table. Excuse me. The man looked up, wary. Yes. Victoria put her credit card on their table. Dessert's on me, and dinner, and anything else you need. The man's eyes widened. I can't accept that. Why not? Because I don't take charity. It's not charity, it's kindness. Smart kid. Kind. Too kind sometimes. There's a difference. Yes. Charity is pity. Kindness is empathy. I was that little girl once. I know what it's like. The man studied her, saw her designer clothes, her expensive jewelry. You were. 30 years ago, my mom and I, counting change, skipping dessert, pretending we weren't hungry. The girl spoke up. That's us, except Daddy always makes sure I eat. He's the one who pretends. The man looked embarrassed. Emma, it's true, Daddy. You always say you're not hungry, but I know you are. Victoria's heart cracked. Please, let me pay for your meal. And let Emma get ice cream. It would make my son happy. He's been watching you and worrying. Marcus had followed his mother, waved at Emma. Hi, I'm Marcus. I'm Emma. Mom, why don't we give money to homeless people? He'd ask. Do you want ice cream? My mom has lots of money. She won't even notice. Victoria laughed despite herself. That's not exactly how I'd phrase it, but yes, please, order whatever you want. The man looked at his daughter, her hopeful face, made a decision. Okay, thank you. That's very generous. What's your name? James Cooper. This is Emma. Victoria Sterling. This is Marcus. They shook hands, formal, strange. The waitress appeared. Victoria handed her the credit card. Whatever they want. Dessert, more food, whatever. Emma ordered ice cream, a huge sundae. Her eyes lit up like Christmas. Because throwing money at problems doesn't solve them. James ordered coffee. Looked at Victoria like she was an alien. Why are you doing this? Because I can, and because I should. I have more money than I could spend in 10 lifetimes. You clearly need help. This is nothing to me but everything to you. That doesn't obligate you to help. No, but it obligates me not to ignore you. I built my wealth on the backs of struggling people like you. Employees, contractors, communities. The least I can do is pay for a meal. James was quiet. You're Victoria Sterling, the tech billionaire. Yes, I've read about you. You're known for being ruthless. I am ruthless in business, but I'm trying to be better, more human. Marcus added, she's working on it. Some days are better than others, but it helps. Victoria ruffled his hair. Thanks, kid. Emma's ice cream arrived. She stared at it like a treasure. Can I share with Marcus? You don't have to, Victoria started. I want to. Sharing is good. Marcus looked at his mother. She nodded. The two kids shared the sundae, talking, laughing, easy friendship. James and Victoria watched them. Thank you, James said quietly. This means more than you know. Tell me about yourself. What do you do? James showed up Monday morning at 7 a.m. early, nervous. Depends. Can you work? What if it does? James looked at her. Really looked. Saw past the wealth, the power, the intimidating exterior. Saw a woman who was lonely, scared, human. Okay, let's try. Victoria smiled. Genuine, beautiful. Yeah? Yeah. They started dating, quietly, carefully. Dinner dates, movie nights. Time together as two people, not boss and employee. Marcus and Emma were thrilled. Finally, Marcus declared. The company gossip was intense. The CEO is dating a mechanic? I can work. Victoria shut it down. My personal life is none of your concern. James is an exceptional employee. That's all you need to know. But people talked. Of course they talked. James felt the pressure. Maybe this is a bad idea. People are talking. Let them talk. I don't care. But your reputation, my reputation is that I'm ruthless. Dating someone I care about won't change that. But, James, do you want to be with me? Yes. Then be with me. The rest is noise. Then we're good. But don't expect special treatment. 1 year after meeting, James proposed. Not with a fancy ring. He couldn't afford that. Just a simple band. I know it's not much. It's perfect, yes, absolutely yes. Marcus and Emma cheered. We're going to be a family. The wedding was small. Family and close friends. Emma as flower girl. Marcus walking his mother down the aisle. In her vows, Victoria said, a year and a half ago, I watched you count change for dinner. And I saw myself, the girl I'd forgotten. You reminded me where I came from. And more importantly, who I want to be. Not just a billionaire, but a human. Thank you for seeing past the money, for loving me, for reminding me what matters. James's vows. A year and a half ago, I couldn't afford ice cream for my daughter. You paid for it without hesitation. You saw us struggling and helped. Then you gave me a job, then friendship, then love. You've changed our lives in every way. Thank you for taking a chance on a struggling mechanic. I promise to spend the rest of my life making you happy. Emma added, thank you for giving us a family and for buying me ice cream that night. It was really good. Everyone laughed through tears. James didn't. He worked harder than anyone. Came early, left late, fixed things others couldn't. Within a month, he'd impressed everyone. Frank pulled him aside. You're good, really good. Where'd you train? Military, then on the job. Been working on cars since I was 14. Why were you unemployed? Garage I worked for closed, economy. Couldn't find another position fast enough. Their loss, our gain. Victoria's HR director looked confused. Victoria personally hired you. Victoria checked in occasionally. Walked through the garage, observed. How's James working out? She asked Frank. Best mechanic we've had. Fast, thorough, reliable. Key, good. Victoria approached James. Settling in? Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity. You earned it. Your work speaks for itself. Still, you took a chance on me. I won't forget that. Marcus started visiting the garage after school, fascinated by the cars. Can you teach me? He asked James. She did. Is that unusual? Shouldn't you ask your mom first? She said it was okay, as long as I don't get in the way. James taught Marcus basic maintenance, how to check oil, change a tire, simple things. Marcus loved it. This is so cool. Mom never taught me practical stuff. Your mom's busy running a company. She's busy doing everything, except being home. James heard the loneliness. She loves you, I can tell. I know, but love and time aren't the same. Wise kid. Emma and Marcus became friends, playdates after school, homework together. Extremely. She doesn't usually involve herself in hiring mechanics. Your son is wonderful, James told Victoria one day. Thank you. Emma's lovely too. She's good for Marcus, grounds him. He grounds her too, reminds her there's more to life than worrying about money. They were standing in Victoria's office, 20th floor, glass walls, city views. Can I ask you something? James said. Sure. Why did you really help me that night at the restaurant? Victoria thought about it. Honestly, I saw myself, the girl I used to be, before the money, the success, the coldness. You're not cold. I am. Ask anyone who works for me. I'm ruthless, demanding, unforgiving. Sure, should I be worried? But you helped a stranger. One act of kindness doesn't erase a decade of ruthlessness. Maybe not, but it's a start. Victoria smiled. Small, real. Maybe. Over the next months, James and Victoria developed an unlikely friendship. He'd stop by her office sometimes, share lunch, talk. Why aren't you dating? Victoria asked one day. No time, no money. And most women run when they hear single dad. That's stupid. That's reality. What about you? You're beautiful, successful. Why aren't you dating? No. If Victoria hired you, you must be exceptional, or she sees potential. Either way, welcome aboard. No time, no trust, and most men are intimidated or after my money. That's stupid, Victoria laughed. That's reality. They understood each other, both single parents, both struggling in different ways. Marcus and Emma pushed them together. You should date, Marcus told his mother. I don't have time. You have time to work, but not to be happy? Work makes me happy. Does it? Because you always seem stressed. James was shown to the garage. State of the art. Dozens of vehicles. A team of mechanics. Out of the mouths of babes. Emma said the same to James. You should date Miss Victoria. Emma, she's my boss. That's inappropriate. Why? You like her. She likes you. Ah, how do you know she likes me? Because she smiles when she sees you. She doesn't smile at anyone else. James hadn't noticed, but now that Emma mentioned it, Victoria did smile at him. Real smiles, not the fake business smiles. 6 months after hiring James, Victoria invited him and Emma to dinner. As a thank you, she said, for being such a great employee. The head mechanic, Frank, was skeptical. Victoria hired you directly? And friend? James asked. And friend. They went to the same restaurant, where they'd met. See, full circle, James observed. Indeed. This time, there was no counting change. No stress. Just good food and good company. Emma and Marcus ran off to the arcade in the restaurant. James and Victoria talked. Really talked. I like you, Victoria said suddenly. James choked on his water. What? Yeah, that a problem? I like you. More than as an employee. More than as a friend. Victoria, I know it's complicated. You work for me, power dynamics, HR nightmares. But I can't stop thinking about you. James was quiet. I like you too. But, but I'm a mechanic. You're a billionaire. This is crazy. So, crazy isn't always bad. Your world and my world are very different. So we'll build a bridge together. What if it doesn't work? 15 years after that first dinner, Victoria stepped down as CEO. Marcus graduated college, joined the foundation. I want to work with you, Mom. Keep this going. Emma became a teacher. Elementary school. Because every kid deserves someone who believes in them. Grace, now 15, was brilliant. Top of her class. I'm going to be a doctor. Help people like Grandma's foundation helps. Which grandma? Victoria asked. Your foundation. You're basically everyone's grandma now. Victoria laughed. I'm not that old. You're old enough. James had become VP of operations at Sterling Enterprises. Never thought I'd be an executive. You earned it. You're brilliant at operations. I'm a mechanic who got lucky. Not because she had to, because she wanted to. You're a leader who got an opportunity. Their marriage had weathered storms, financial stress. Even billionaires face economic downturns. Health scares. James's cancer scare, thankfully benign. Normal life challenges. But they'd survived, together. We're good at this, Victoria said one night. At what? Marriage, family, us. We are because we choose it. Every day, every day. 20 years after meeting, they renewed their vows. I've run this company for 20 years. It's time for new blood. A big ceremony this time. Family, friends, hundreds of foundation beneficiaries. 20 years ago, you paid for my daughter's ice cream, James said in his vows. I thought you were showing off, flexing your wealth. But you were showing empathy, remembering where you came from. That night changed everything. Not just because of the job, because you saw us, really saw us. Thank you for seeing me, for loving me, for building this life with me. Victoria's vows. 20 years ago, I was a ruthless billionaire, cold, disconnected, forgotten where I came from. Marcus reminded me to help. You showed me what I'd forgotten. That wealth means nothing without humanity. That success is measured in love, not dollars. You've made me better, softer, more human. Thank you for accepting my help, for taking a chance on a complicated woman, for loving me despite my flaws. Marcus, Emma, and Grace all spoke about family, about kindness, about how one act of generosity created ripple effects they're still feeling. Mom saw Dad struggling and helped, Marcus said. That taught me to always help when I can, to see people, to care. Emma added, Victoria became my mom when she didn't have to. She could have just paid for dinner and disappeared. But she stayed. She cared. That changed my dad's life. And mine. Grace, I never knew Mom before Dad, but I've seen how they are together. Equal partners, respectful, loving. That's what I want someday. Someone who sees me for me. After the ceremony, they celebrated. Victoria looked around at the crowd. Single parents she'd helped. Kids who'd gone to college on foundation scholarships. Families thriving because of opportunities provided. This is wealth, she told James. Not money. This, people, impact. Her successor was promoted from within. A single mother Victoria had mentored. You've come a long way from the Ice Queen. I had good teachers. You, Marcus, Emma. You melted the ice. The foundation continued growing, eventually operating in 40 states, helping hundreds of thousands of families. We should write a book, James suggested, about our story, inspire others. Who'd want to read about a billionaire and a mechanic? Everyone, because it's proof that circumstances don't define us. Choices do. They wrote the book together. The Ice Cream Effect, How One Act of Kindness Changed Everything. It became a bestseller, inspired millions. Donations to the foundation increased tenfold. We're making a difference, Victoria said, reading thank you letters. You're passing it to someone who understands struggle, James observed. You've always made a difference. Now you're just doing it intentionally. Someone who'll remember what matters, people. Victoria focused on her foundation full-time. It had grown exponentially, helped over 10,000 families, provided jobs, housing, hope. This is my real legacy, she told an interviewer. Not the company, this. 25 years after that first dinner, Victoria was 71. James was 60. We've both changed. For the better. They looked at the menu, knew it by heart after 25 years. A young single dad sat nearby, daughter beside him, counting change. Victoria smiled, pulled out her credit card, walked over. Desserts on me, and dinner, and anything else you need. The man stared. Why? Because 25 years ago, someone did this for me. Changed my life. I'm paying it forward. And you should too. When you're able, help someone else. Keep the chain going. The man had tears in his eyes. Thank you. You have no idea what this means. I do, more than you know. They sat in the same restaurant. Anniversary tradition. Victoria gave him her foundation's card. When you're ready, we help single parents, job training, childcare, support. Call us. Back at their table, James smiled. You never stop. Why would I? This is what life's about. Helping. Paying forward. We were both helped. Now we help others. Their food arrived. They ate, talked, laughed, comfortable after decades together. Do you ever regret it? Victoria asked. Regret what? Marrying me. The billionaire. The complicated life. You could have had someone simpler. Never, not once. You're the best thing that ever happened to me, to Emma, to all of us. Marcus was 42, running the foundation, married with 3 kids. Even when I'm difficult, especially then, because you challenge me, make me better. I love you. I love you too. After dinner, they walked, hand in hand. 2 people who'd found each other unlikely. 25 years, Victoria mused. Best 25 years of my life. Mine too. I was so empty before you. Money but no meaning. Now I have everything. You, our kids, grandkids, the foundation, purpose. Emma was 38, principal of an elementary school. 2 kids. That's wealth. The only kind that matters. They stopped at a park bench, watched kids play, parents supervise. That could have been us, James said, if things were different, struggling, barely making it. But things weren't different. We found each other at exactly the right time. You saved us. You saved me, reminded me I was human. A little girl ran up. Excuse me, are you Victoria Sterling? I am. My mommy works for your foundation. You helped us when Daddy left. Got Mommy a job, paid for our apartment. Grace was 25, in medical school, top of her class. Victoria knelt down. What's your name? Sophie. Hi, Sophie. I'm glad we could help your family. You're a hero. Mommy says so. Victoria hugged her. Your mommy's the hero for being strong, for not giving up, for taking care of you. Sophie ran back to her mother, pointed at Victoria excitedly. The mother waved, mouthed, thank you. Victoria waved back. That's your legacy, James said. Not the company, not the money, them. All the families you've helped. Our legacy, we built this together. We did good, James said. Together. They walked home. To their house, not a mansion, just a comfortable home, where their kids had grown up, where grandkids now played. I don't need the penthouse anymore, Victoria had said years ago. I need a home. This was home, filled with memories, love, laughter. That evening, the whole family gathered. Kids, grandkids, all of them. To Grandma and Grandpa, Marcus toasted. 25 years, still going strong. To family, Emma added, chosen and born, all of it. To kindness, Grace said, the foundation of everything. They raised glasses, celebrated. A family built from one act of kindness. Later, Victoria and James sat on their porch, watching the sunset. We did great. If you could go back, James asked, to that night, would you change anything? Not one thing. Every moment led us here. Even the hard parts, especially the hard parts. They made us stronger. What do you think your younger self would say? Seeing you now, Victoria thought about it. She'd be shocked. That ruthless billionaire became this soft, this human, this happy. Is that bad? It's perfect, because being ruthless got me money. Being human got me you. And you're worth more than all the money in the world. James kissed her. You're sappy in your old age. I prefer emotionally mature. Remember when I couldn't afford Emma's ice cream? Sappy. They laughed together. 25 years. From strangers in a restaurant to partners in life. All because Victoria saw a struggling father and remembered. Remembered where she came from. Remembered what matters. Remembered to be human. And in that remembering found everything. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to VML Stories for more inspiring tales of kindness, unexpected connections, and lives transformed by compassion. Hit that like button, drop a comment sharing your thoughts, and share this with someone who needs to remember that wealth means nothing without humanity. Because sometimes paying for someone's ice cream changes everything. Remember when I was too cold to care about anyone? See you in the next story.